Good morning. Today we're going to talk about the jewel from the Mexican neoclassicism. That's right. We're talking about Degollado's theater. We'll start first talking a little bit about social, historic, and geographic context. It's located in Guadalajara. At the time, Benito Juarez was president, and a lot of people saw this moment as a time for change and things to be better. Thanks to this, it was decided that the capital of the state, Guadalajara, needed a theater at the highest of the standards. The principal architect was Jacobo Galvez, and the construction started in 1856 by order of General Santos de Gollado, who was governor at the time. It has a clear resemblance to the old Greek temples in its front facade. In the interior, there is a painting representing the Quarto Canto from the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. In total, it has 1,015 seats, and along its history suffered six restylizations, being the one in 2005, the biggest one of all. This theater was built in a square that was used by the people of Guadalajara as a market where they used to trade food, animals, and other items. The construction followed the neoclassical style the Italians were using in their own theaters. In the interior, we can find statues and sculptures of musicians playing instruments just like the ones used in the plays. Along with all this, there's a golden eagle located in the highest spot of the building. Let's talk about its configuration. It's defined in a U form, which is the spectator's area. Alongside, there is a lot of columns, not only in the exterior but in the interior as well. That there are in fact structural functional columns. In the shape, we have that there is a total of 3,500 square meters, 97 long for 36 front. The facade is characterized for the original shapes of the old Greek temples, which used to have pediment, epistyle, column, and basement, just as the Goyados Theater. The visual perspective makes people feel like they're very tiny compared to the columns. It has an additive shape, with new elements coming in and out of the building. We believe it has a grid based on the human scale, and overall, it's made out of geometrical shapes, such as the circle of the dome, the rectangle in the facade, and the general rectangular shape of the theater. The facade is conformed of marble and quarry, which are combined in a very beautiful way, using the quarry to make some linear elements, such as towers, in the ceiling and the principal framework. It has no borders, thanks to the fact that it was built in a whole block. The light is also very important because it casts very deep shadows in the sculptures and in the highest part of the ceiling, giving to the facade a very sublime touch. The reliefs are very sharp, without any kind of smoothing edge. As per social space, we have that the three gaps between the columns serve as entrance to the building. The theater is a completely new urban space. In front of this one is located another square with a very beautiful fountain in the middle. As a whole, the theater works like a pause in the urban line, made out of a lot of blocks. The opening in the space consists in windows and entrances behind the huge columns. These openings are located in the middle with a symmetrical and constant rhythm. The U-shape gives a terrific view of the show to the spectators in any seat. The interior is very well decorated, with marble and ironwork in the railing of the walls. Few decoration in the walls, but a phenomenal painting in the dome that's showered with the natural light of the skylight in the middle. The facade is almost symbolic. The real building stands behind, and is where the main entrance is located. But the facade is so big in proportion, it calls the attention, bringing all the neoclassical theaters to it. The golden section is not presented here, but the perfect equilibrium and the symmetry of the geometric shapes tries to express the glory of the building. Beauty, equilibrium, mythology, and humanity are clearly the main expression of the facade in the plane. Anthropometry was used in the design of the interior, that's why it has a great view from any seat. The scale of the theater is very big compared to the human size, that's why a stair is needed to have access to the building. Entirely made out of quarry and stone, it has a very solid structure. The front columns hold the Greek getaway, and pilasters are used all around the building to reinforce the sides. The architecture is completely neoclassical, with basic geometrics and simple shapes. The decoration inside is pretty simple, with no more than some statues, columns, and the dome painting. The relation between spaces is intertwined, with the exterior covering the theater with an ellipse. This ellipse is formed by the public seats, creating a direct connection of these spaces. The spatial organization is radial. The seats were designed to achieve the best view possible. In order for this to happen, the rest of the spaces have to be distributed, surrounding the scenario and the seats. The entrance has a portic with columns, which serve as a rest between the public space and the interior of the theater, what we now know as the lobby of the theater. It has two entrances. The main one is under the front portic, which leads to a noble saloon, and the secondary one used for the staff and the actors of the events. The building works as a single volume. Inside of it, the spaces are divided in a radial way. The circulation are protagonists of the good functionality of the theater, following that same circular shape. Like a clock, all its gears serve a certain purpose, which make them different from the others, but at the same time also makes them part of the same all.